Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about transit Uranus conjunct one's natal Venus. And when we're talking about transits that involve Uranus, this can manifest in uniqueness, it's unorthodox, disruptions, freedom, independence. When you have transit Uranus conjoin your natal Venus, well, this can manifest in uniqueness, it's unorthodox, disruptions, freedom, independence. It could be in love, romantic relationships, significant friendships. It might be some time where you might need some space from people more so than usual, whether you're in a romantic connection or just a platonic friendship that is significant. Um, if it's in Gemini, it could be very mercurial, it could be lover, or it could be something, friend. It could be a friend that might be a Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or simply embody those characteristics. It's also about really having, it could be about more freedom in your values at this time, and maybe that freedom and independence might be strongly integrated into your values at this time, and maybe your values might be a little bit more unorthodox than the average person at this time. And the thing too is it could also be about disruptions in your love life at this time, and also. And keep in mind, Venus is also associated with self-esteem, self-worth, and how you feel about yourself. So another way this could manifest, there might be some fluctuations in this at this time, or maybe Uranus-related people are figuring more prominently in this. If you know people that are, humanitarians, are very altruistic, it could be friends or groups, clubs, organizations that you're connected with. These people might be figuring more prominently in your self-esteem at this time, more so than usual, whether it's to your detriment or it's actually they're beneficial to your self-esteem and self-worth. It could be, a lot of that could be predicated and dependent on the aspects that this makes to other points in your natal chart. Also, too, it could also manifest in some cases about Uranus ways of making money, or you might be dealing with some a lot of unpredictable energy in monetary matters. It could sometimes be or you might spontaneously, surprisingly get money, or you might lose it. I mean, say if this is you're having this transit in the 8th house as an example, it could be some situation with an inheritance. It might be maybe a lot more money, and maybe resources that you might have, possessions or what have you, that you might have attained as a result of it, or it might be a lot less. Because Uranus is a very surprising energy, to say the absolute least. There'll be a time too where you might be acquiring more possessions that are Uranus related. It could be ones connected with astrology, or electronic computer devices, new technology. It could be, anything that could be. It could even be, model rockets, anything that could be connected with Uranus. And the thing about this too is that this also is about, unpredictable energy, perhaps with your resources at this time and your possessions as well. And it could be where you might want some freedom from possessions at this time, or you might feel more of an urge to have the freedom to get what you want, buy what you feel you need and deserve, without being judged by others, and regardless of what others may think about what you buy. Could also be about finding more unusual or unique methods of enjoyment. I mean, it could be maybe doing some kind of bungee cord jumping, or simply doing things that you haven't done previously. It could be, jumping out of, a helicopter, of course, with a parachute, obviously, um, so you don't hurt yourself, obviously. But the thing about it is, too, it might also manifest in some cases in disruptions to your peace and tranquility in your life at this time. It could be disruptions. You may also be more interested in high-tech items to make sure you are able to retain your peace and keep peace where you're at. I mean, if you're in your home, for a say, this is in the zodiac sign Cancer or your 4th house, it could be about buying things for your home, electronic state-of-the-art alarm devices, or what have you, in order to maintain, your safety, security, and your peace. Your Venus is also associated with art, so it might be a time you might be really more interested in unique expressions of art. It could also be, it could be computer electronic art. You might be more interested in more so than usual at this time. It could also be too where looking at this anatomically speaking, Venus is associated with the throat, the neck, the kidneys, the lower back, and the thyroid as well. So it might be something where you might be getting some kind of very spontaneous situation with one of these things that I described, and especially if you've had problems previously with anything that I had described as far as what's anatomically connected with the planet Venus, and it might be very erratic and sporadic energy. And it could be pain with the neck or the throat area. It might be something with the lower back that may come and go at this time. Uranus can also be connected with accidents. So in some isolated situations, an accident may result in some issues like with the lower back or even something with the neck area. It could also be something too. Venus is about the foods we enjoy. And the thing is, this could be really having more of an eclectic taste as far as food goes. It might be food that you've never eaten before. It might be something of an exotic nature or some odd combination of food. You might be more inclined to mix different foods together more so than usual, something that maybe you hadn't done in some time or maybe never really did. And the fact that Venus is about attractiveness and beauty, this could be about perhaps doing something very unique, a little bit unusual in terms of making yourself more attractive than you had been. It might be donning an eclectic look. It could be something too. As far as Venus goes, Venus is also associated with lawsuits and legal matters. So it might be in some cases where there might be a lawsuit that might be maybe connected with something Uranus related. It could be something connected with computers, or there might be some it could be a copyright infringement online or something or over the internet. It might be something with electronics. This could be something even from Uranus type person. It could be a friend you might be embroiled in a lawsuit with. And the fact that this is legal matters, I mean, it could be just some issue that might be, again, connected with a friend, or it might be some kind of group at this time that you may be suing, or maybe they're suing you at this time. It could be some situation connected with astrology in some cases, if there's a copyright situation, or something with again, something with computers or electronics. It could be some kind of invention where there's a legal issue over. Now, at this time, friendships may be more prominent, play more of an integral role in your monetary matters and possessions more so than usual. Now, say if this is in Gemini, as an example, it could be through doing work with the hands. It could be through writing. Maybe there's encouragement to be a salesperson. Maybe a friend. If you are a salesperson, it could be a friend that is buying something from you at this time and helping you stimulate sales. It might also be too where you might get involved if you're unattached with an ingenious or innovative lover, or one that's very unorthodox, or could be someone from another country. You might form a relationship with this person at this time. It might be, say, it might be too. Um, it could be somebody, let's say if it's an Aquarius, it could be, doing, I mean, looking at this as well. I'm sorry, I gotta go be kind, rewind maybe. I want to say that too, it can be, again, it could be somebody that's very, somebody that's just very unique, or it could be somebody very innovative, or it might be somebody in a Uranus type field. Hold on a moment, people. And the thing too is what we have to keep in mind. Another thing about this, it could be again being involved, um, very unique forms of art. Say if it's in Gemini, it could be animated or cartoon type of art that's very unique and different. It could be some kind of uh, computer graphic art that you might be more connected with at this time, or is something that you may be more enamored with. It could be where your love life might be a little bit more erratic and sporadic, where you and or the lover might be require more freedom and independence more so than usual. Could also in some cases be a separation, I would say, because this could be a situation where the freedom might be required forever in some cases. Say if you have this in the seventh house as an example, it's in the house of the significant other. In legal matters, this might be some kind of divorce. And you might, seventh house. I mean, you might be disconnecting from somebody that could be a marriage partner at this time. And another thing too is that this is also a time where even your significant friendships might have a lot of fluctuations and maybe coming and going. And it may be a thing too where maybe the unorthodox and unique is what may be valued more so than usual at this time. It could be, let's say, if it's an Aquarius in the sixth house as an example, it could be like that robot cat scoop that we've seen advertised on TV, because Aquarius could be connected with robotics, and I would say it's innovative as well. And also, the sixth house is associated with pets. Um, Isolated cases, you may be contending with some kind of twitching and spasms, which is connected with Uranus. It could be in the fact that it's hitting Venus. It could be in the neck, the lower back. It could be by the kidney area. Um, it could also be that Uranus related physical issues may be more inclined to hit the pocketbook, because Venus again is associated with money and monetary matters, finances. And it might be some situation with the ankles, the shins, the calves, the lower legs. It could be circulation, even nerves and spasms at this time, or some very unusual type of disorder. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard